The administrative profession holds both routine and unexpected demands throughout each day. Due to each role being unique, much like your thumbprint, there's no manual that makes it black and white or a no-brainer. However, having transitioned from the profession myself turned specialized headhunter, I've been blessed with over 2,500 one-on-one connections with admins living this profession each day. They've shared with me remedies, ideas, and hilarious moments which could help others transition from, and I air quote, the word island, in which we feel and see ourselves living, to a place of community. Each PS episode, of which I'll let you know, PS stands for permission slip, not postscript. These episodes will deliver thought-provoking moments to help you navigate your admin world. Let's get to today's topic. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another PS episode, the permission slip episodes. I put these together when I started thinking about how I wanted to spend time with you guys through a podcast. And the vision for the podcast came out in early 2019, and then I wanted to do it, and then I didn't want to do it, because when you put yourself out there like this, you set yourself up for all sorts of things, both positive and negative. And fortunately, there hasn't been any negative, which is really great. However, they say you've made it when someone is displeased with you. So when I start with that piece, I start because I want to transition from how we're perceived, how we're looking at information, how we're making decisions. I made the decision to do the podcast. I wanted short, brief permission slip episodes so you guys can just have a quick burst of inspiration. Hopefully my energy channels through this mic and into you on, I'm going to try that. Or that doesn't fit me, but now I have some new information to share with someone else I might run into. In the case of this, with this PS episode being called Software Update 11.1 to 11.2, I want you guys to think about the gift and curse of grand, G-R-A-N-D, thinking. I am guilty of this, still do it, even though I am a bit more in check with myself. Grand thinking is, and I talked about this in several other episodes too, when we want to achieve something so grand and that we want to hurdle over what we have to do to actually get there, because we don't want to deal with that little in-between part, right? And so it occurred to me one day, I have an iPhone, and I feel like there's an update like every 6 weeks. And I'm going to say something intense, and I hope it hits you a little bit in the chest. We live in a society where, because our phone is updated, Slack gets an update, your Netflix gets an update, your Apple TV, all of these technical tools have regular updates. We are unaware that it is actually a soft, non-obvious trigger that everything around us is always updating. We then take in that we need to be updating too, constantly. I need to learn something new. When I'm having calls with candidates, I'm like, you've only been in your role a year. What's going on? Oh, I've stopped learning. I'm like, well, why not use time to learn something personal, like making bread or doing a sourdough starter or gardening? Or they're like, but Hilani, that's not going to help my career. And I'm like, but we have to help you. You are your career. And so this episode really isn't about self-care, but it does sort of weave into what it means to software update. When we get an update on our phone, it's granular. It's not grand, right? The iPhone doesn't do 11.0 to 12.0. There's always micro updates in between, 11.1 to 11.2, and so on. And so if you are expecting to update yourself in such a grand fashion, I want to lose 10 pounds, I want to do it in 60 days, don't you believe you've set yourself up for some disappointment? And one of the things that's really big about a new year, and depending on where you guys are with, your resolutions, which I'm not a fan of that word or that philosophy, I'm very big on intentions. My intention is to have a balanced, nutritional lifestyle and get to bed around the same time every day and get up, spend time with my Bible, right? And do all of those different things that are in intention to then essentially over time compound to serve into me. So my intention is to always think, what is the true next step from 11.1 to 11.2 versus skipping over all of that? And I know some of you out there might be rolling your eyes at me like, oh, I don't want to do all of that little stuff, but it makes sense. It really makes sense. And so that's the wisdom for today's PS episode, a software update. You can update yourself in a micro fashion. You can update yourself for yourself. It doesn't always have to be career driven. And one final thing here I want to drop. You guys need to go out and listen to the PS episode, Don't Ask for a Raise. And I've heard that people listen to it more than once, which they're like, Hilani, you kind of give me a little slap on the hand. And I'm like, okay, at least I'm not literally doing it, but at least you're feeling that self-evaluation happening. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this episode. Thank you for being loyal listeners. And if this episode really hit home for you or any of the other ones, it would be very exciting to receive a review from you on Apple Podcasts. Thanks for sharing a little bit of your time with me and allowing me the opportunity to inspire you. My intention with the PS episodes are for you to rediscover why you're in this profession and continue to love it. Have a great day.